Welcome everybody to our show. This is Custom Fab Garage on our channel Octane TV on YouTube. Make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button, and on top of that, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can get all the new content that comes out weekly and even every day. So in order to remove these rear door panels right here, basically what you're gonna have is you're gonna have 2 bolts behind here, 2 bolts behind here, and then there's 2 bolts on the very bottom down here. You got a 7 here and a 7 down here. So we're gonna take off these 2 7mm here, and then we'll show you how to take this panel off here, and then this panel off here. First things first, we're gonna take out the 2 7mm that are on the bottom. There's one right there where that hole is. And the front door panels are kind of similar. They have the same 7mm, and they're at an angle. So you got to remember that when you're trying to take these out, they're at an angle on these. See? So it'll come out at an angle. There's that one, and then you got one more over there on the other side, right there. So there's 2 on the bottom on all 4 door panels of these cars, trucks basically. Right there. This piece, if you take a plastic pry tool or a pick, you can get it from the top and then kind of pull out. You got to be really careful because it's in there with these really heavy duty plastic hips. You don't want to pull on the bottom because it's rigged down into there, but we got to get this out to unsnap like that. That's what's so hard, is getting those 2 top pieces to unsnap. And then the bottom, it has like 2 little feet that stick down in it. So if you look at how it is, when this piece comes out, it's got 2 little feet that hang down, and you just got to get these clips out right here on the top. And then inside of there, you have 2 7mm, I believe. Yeah, they're both 7mm in these trucks. And then underneath here, you're gonna have like an indentation. I think it's on this one, that side right there. And then you're gonna start prying that with your plastic pry tool to be able to get that out.
This side.
Every one of these is tore up. Every customers I have, they always have the dents and scratches all up in them and tore all up. I'm gonna start wrapping these and selling them because people's are always damaged and tore up. So that's how this comes off right here, and you gotta be real careful because it's got the heavy duty snaps in it and all these pieces in it. So yeah, like that. He'll show you how to break it. And then that piece right there pops out, and then there's all your snap pieces right there. And then underneath there, you're gonna have a 7mm and a 7mm. Now, these 7mm are different than these 7mm, which they don't look different, but these have the big, larger washers, and they're a different length. So just remember that they're gonna be a different length and a larger washer. So the larger washer, see how it's larger, will go on the top, and the smaller one will go on the bottom. So just remember that when you're doing this. Pulling on the bottom of the door panel, just start pulling, and then you'll pull. It's kind of, you're gonna have to kind of pull it out, and then what you'll do is you'll wiggle this part up like that. And then once you get it all out, what we're gonna do is we'll go behind here, and down here on the bottom there's a little piece, and it's hard to kind of show you like this, but there's a piece, it's hard to get to right now because it's so, like, you push down on it, like, see how I just did that with my fingernail right there, and then this will come out like a cantilever system, just like BMW's. And then there is a plug right here, push right here where I'm pushing my thumb, and then pull down, and that's pretty much it to get the rear door panel off. This is the stock rear speaker, which takes 3 7mm to remove. You've got 1, 2, and then 3 on the top. So we're gonna take these 3 7mm out to remove the whole entire speaker and the mounting plate for it. And then we're gonna use a speaker adapter to actually remount this that is made for this vehicle. There's all 3 of your screws, and that will come out. Oh my goodness, look at that magnet. Be beating up the block with that. Then you gotta unplug. Oh, you got it all? Man, look at that magnet. You can't do nothing with that. Whew. Beating up the block with that bad boy. And then you're gonna unplug this harness right here. Boop, and that's pretty much it. And then we have that speaker out.
Man, it's so heavy.
Yeah, I bet it weighs like 20 ounces. If that, get a steak that weighs more than this. Are the speaker adapters for the rear, which are an 825605. These fit a lot of different Ford vehicles, but these definitely fit the F150s and F250s. And then you'll knock these out for 6.5. The rest of it you can use for a 5.25. So usually we would use a speaker wire harness adapter that would just plug right in and then just plug right into this wire, and then boom, it goes right into the speaker. But unfortunately we do not have any of them right now. So we are doing it by the T-tapping way, which this side is your positive, this side is your negative. And we are just running our wires up through. We drilled a hole through, went into the speaker, and then we're gonna cover this all up right here with Dynamat. And then we're gonna zip tie this all up, but everything is all installed. We installed this to our speaker adapter and then reinstalled it to our door itself. Everything's almost like OEM. Unbolt and then unplug just like OEM. I recommend using the speaker harness adapters. I'll put a link down below for those, and then using the speaker adapters as well. I'll put a link down in the bottom for those as well. This is the F150 F250 door panels that are 2015 and up to current. What we're gonna do is you're gonna have a 7mm on the bottom, 7mm on the bottom. You're gonna have two 7mm in here, two 7mm in here. We're gonna take this piece off first. Basically, you can just kind of grab it and you can kind of pull it down, which I'll probably have to use my plastic pry tool. This one's pretty tough to get out of there. Plastic pry tool back in here, and then you can kind of pull like that, and then the whole piece will come off, and there are your clips on the back side right there, and then there's going to be a 7mm in there as well. In order to get this off, we're going to start right here, and we're going to, underneath this is a little piece where you can pry up right there, and then we're going to start prying up on this piece to try to get it out, and then it's lodged into here so that we can pull it out and then pull it out from here. Plastic pry tool, and you get it to where it comes loose, you're going to pull it out and it's going to come out this side right here, and there's all your clips on the back side. You're going to have a 7mm in here, 7mm in here. It has the larger washers. These will have the smaller washers. I find it works best with this piece is getting a hook tool back here or here and then pulling out, and then it will unsnap, and then there's your two clips, and then it hooks down on the bottom there, and then underneath it you have two 7mm. Just remember, when you take these out, smaller washers on the bottom, larger washers go on the top part, so just remember that. And then underneath here you're going to have a 7mm right here on right there, and then you're going to go down here and you'll have another one which will be right there. So there's your other 7mm here, and then a 7mm here. Both those are on the bottom. So basically two 7mm on the bottom, two 7mm here, two 7mm here, and a 7mm up here. And then we're ready to start pulling the door panel away from the actual door itself. Once you get this pulled away, basically you'll get it up on this side, get it out here, and then you'll kind of pull up. And then when you pull up, there you go. And then this whole thing will come back. And then back here, we're gonna have a large harness here, which is going to push right here where my thumb is, pull that down. You'll have another harness here, push right here where my finger was right there. And down here, we will pull with our thumbnail down like this, and then pull down on that, and that will come down. I'll kind of show you without that there, just basically pull down like that. And then that pulls that cantilever system down, and then there's the door panel away right there. Here's the terminal right here for the speaker, so you're just gonna push your finger right here like I do on my thumb, and then boom, this will come out, and that is your negative and positive right there of the actual speaker. Typically, I tell you to use a speaker harness. It will just plug into here, and then the rest will plug into the speaker. Unfortunately, I do not have any of these, and he needs this done immediately. So we're just gonna T-tap the wire so that we don't cut any wires, and then eventually we can just put speaker harnesses on here. They're very easy. I'll put a link down below for all the Ford speaker harnesses, and then the actual speaker adapters. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to make the adapters because I don't have any of those as well. So we will put a link down below if you want to just purchase adapters to make it so much easier. Now, we make nicer adapters than what they sell, but that's, you know, this customer kind of gets a great day for him because he gets something way nicer than what he would purchase anyways, but it just takes us a lot more time, so we lose a lot more money. It's all about efficiency. 4 7mm, basically right here, and then we're gonna take this speaker out. Here's the back of that speaker. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but definitely not the best. And then we're gonna use our own speaker adapter that we have made. It's just a dual cone. This is the adapter right here, made out of 1/2" HDPE, way stronger than probably anything that anybody's going to sell out of 1/8" or, you know, 1/16 of an inch. So these are very thick, very strong, and these are gonna just bolt right up with our 6x9 right there. Here's the back side, and then we have this screwed in, and there is the front side. Extremely nice, very thick, 1/2" HDPE. This should sound really good. So we have this T-tap. We're going to use the left-hand side as the positive. So we're going to use this as the positive over here, because this is when it plugs into this harness. This is the positive coming off on this top part. So this is going to be our positive, and we're going to connect our wires into here. We've got our bracket all mounted and everything. All right, so we pulled the subwoofer out of the box. Customer decided to wire it himself. He did a good job on wiring it itself, but he did not wire up the second voice coil. So that's a humongous problem right there. You can't have one voice coil hooked up, you have to hook up both. We ended up tapping this top left, sorry about my thing going out of focus, this top left 10 amp right here that's out of here. We added this 5 amp part right here. We're gonna run this to our remote wire, but basically it's this top position red 10 amp right here is what we're going to use to just switch to ignition on the fuse panel, passenger side kick panel. We're going to be using this SNI 35 pack audio. This is a line output converter. I call it a, you know, basically whatever you need to produce sound. We're going to take our SNI 35. We're going to connect both of our negatives. If you look on here, both of these have the stripes, our negatives together, and we're going to connect both of our positives together to create a mono signal coming back to the subwoofer, and then we'll put our taps on the top of here and tap those into our speaker wires. All right, so we've got everything tapped here, and we ran it into our line output converter with our RCAs coming out right here. That's pretty much it, and then we're going to attach everything right here and then run the wires to the back. So we took our wire wheel right here, and we wire wheeled all the paint off of right there, and we're going to ground it right there. So just took our wire wheel and knocked off all the paint right there so we can ground it. it.